Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another NBA 2K21 video. This is one that I know you guys were waiting for on my channel. There's a lot of people who have been asking me for this video right here, and that's going to be my post score build for NBA 2K21. Before we get into it though, go ahead, and I'm talking about just attack that like button. Go ahead, press that like button for me. Subscribe if you guys are new. This is going to be, in my opinion, what is the best post score build for NBA 2K21. Now, the only thing, a little disclaimer to note, is this is going to be based on how I like to play in the post. Some of you absolutely god-awful post scores out there that I don't even consider a post score, that just spam post hooks. This might not be the best available build for you, but in my opinion, it's the most well-rounded post score that's going to give you the best arsenal of moves in the post. I like to play with a lot of post fadeaways, hop shots, things like that. If you love to just spam post hooks, there's going to be better options than this. You schmucks can figure that out yourself. Let's go ahead and get into it though. Let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into this thing. The position is going to be center. 100% you want to use center. Do not use power forward. Handed, left or right handed, that's up to y'all, whichever one you prefer to shoot with. Moving forward, the pie chart you want is this pie chart right here. This one right here. The one that's like half green, half blue, but there's like a little bit extra green. Now, you're not going to get Hall of Fame finishing with this build, but I promise you guys that's going to be okay. If you want to go with the one that also gets Hall of Fame finishing, you lose like 7 or 8 to your post fade. So if you're okay with losing that much to your post fade, you can make that one. That's like literally the only difference between the two. This one gets like 3 or 4 extra shooting badges and a higher post fade. The other one gets Hall of Fame finishing. So you can make that choice if you guys want to. I don't see any reason I need a Hall of Fame finishing. I mostly utilize fadeaways and things like that. So this is the pie chart right here. This is the one I'm going with for NBA 2K21 post score build. Now, our physicals, you got to get one of these two right here. One of the two that gives you a 76 strength. None of the other ones give you that high of a strength, so they're trash. Get one of these two. You need max strength on a post score, so you can decide, do you want a little bit extra speed, or do you want a lot more vertical but you take a little cut on your speed? I'm gonna be going with the one that gives you a little extra speed, because this build's already gonna be pretty slow, so I'd like to be able to get a little extra speed if I possibly can. So this is the physical profile I'm going with on my post score. The attributes, pretty standard, is going to be very similar to my post score last year. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you already kind of got a feel for how I like to play in the post. A lot of fadeaways, man. A lot of fadeaways. That's going to be the biggest thing for me. You want to max out your close shot, your stand and dunk, your mid-range, your three-pointer, your post moves. You want to increase the pass accuracy just enough to get 6 playmaking badges. We need 6 of them things for post spin technician and quick first step. Those are the only playmaking badges you need on this post score. I promise you, that is it. So only get 6 playmaking badges. If you get any more than that, you're crazy. Defense badges, max out your offensive rebound, defense rebound, your block, and your interior defense. Those are going to be, you know, no-brainer things to upgrade on a center for the defensive end of the basketball. Now, you may say, hey, you're getting 8 defense badges. I know it's kind of low for a center, but hey, this is an offensive amount of center. Last year, same exact kind of build, we got 9. So we got 1 extra, and it really wasn't that big of a problem. Would more be nice? Yeah, but there's no good post score build that has a high fadeaway that gets any more defense badges than this. You're gonna have to make do with what you can, but I promise you guys, it'll still be okay. I know some people are gonna freak out about this defense, but it will be good enough. Do not worry. You're gonna, as long as you play good defense, these attributes, they're gonna help you. But as long as you actually play good defense yourself, you will be just fine. Trust me. The rest of these points are gonna go into post hooks. It's gonna give us an 80 post hook, which is not bad. And this is it. This is the attribute loadout. We're gonna get 19 finishing, 20 shooting, 6 playmaking, and 8 defense. And again, I know some of you guys are going to question certain decisions. Look, man, I've been playing in the post since NBA 2K14. Every single year, I've won over 90% of my games in the post. This is a good post score build. If I have any doubters in the comment section, you're delusional. You're delusional. This is the most versatile, best option you have for a post score. Now, again, you have some other ones that are going to have a lot less post fadeaway. If you play more where you're attacking the paint, dunking, drop steps, post hooks, get more of a blue pie chart of some sort. Me, I shoot mostly fadeaway, so I have to have absolutely the highest post fadeaway I can possibly get, and this is the best build to achieve that. If you don't shoot that many post fadeaways, I'd still have a high post fadeaway on your post score, but maybe you don't have to go with this pie chart right here. But I feel like this one leaves you the most versatile, and when you have fades and hop steps and hop shots in your arsenal in the post, it makes it a lot harder to guard than someone that's very one-dimensional. That's what's going to separate a great post score from just a good one. So this is the attributes. Your body shape, go ahead, get built, burly, one of these two, you know, one of the good ones for a center. I'd go with built. That's what I'm going to go with. Now the height, normally I almost always go 7'3". Pretty much every single year I've maxed out my post scorer's height. This year I'm going 7'2" instead of 7'3". This was specifically to give me 2 extra attributes to my 3 and my mid-range. I get 5 extra speed and acceleration, and I really don't lose anything. I honestly lose like 1 off of my stand and dunk, and then of course the actual inch of height. But realistically, I think the meta this year, I have a very strong feeling the meta this year is going to be straight like 6'8", maybe 6'9" centers on the 2's court. So this is going to be a slow build. So we're going to take this opportunity to talk about where this build best fits, because I know I'm going to get the comments that's going to say this is slow as hell. I do every single year. Even though I have like a 95 win percentage every year, people still every year try to tell me that my build's going to be too slow. It's not going to be good enough. I make the same build every year and it works fine. This build right here, it's going to be great for the 1's court. That's where it's going to really excel. It's going to be phenomenal on the 1's court, where your speed is not going to play that big of a role. It's going to be really, really good on the 1's court, especially with most people making these very undersized centers. On the 2's court, it's going to be extremely good on the offensive end of the basketball, because again, everyone else is going to have like a 6'8", 6'9" center. You're going to very easily be able to baby them in the paint. But where you're going to have a problem though is on the 2's court is trying to play defense. Is it going to be possible? Yes. Against really good players, it's going to be extremely difficult to be able to get stops with this build unless the man your guard and is just spotting up. If they're running a pick and roll, it's going to be very difficult to show and go and then pick up on the roll, or even pick up the guard and try to guard him off the dribble. You're going to be very slow, especially with how the meta is looking like it's going to be on 2K21 with very small centers, probably on the pick and rolls. There's going to see a lot less ISO because the two-way builds don't look as dominant. I don't think we're going to see as much ISO because people are not going to be able to just rim run, do a hop step and dunk it. I think we're going to see a lot more guards opting for pick and rolls. So this is going to be kind of a liability on the defensive end. Is it still possible? Yes, you can still definitely get stops, especially if you have a point guard that you're playing with that has some kind of Hall of Fame defense so they can get through screens. Me personally, I normally play with my boy Ron, and he uses some form of a playmaking shooter every single year. That's what we typically run. I think that this build will be fine. For most average people, there's not going to be a problem at all. When you're playing actual comp teams, then it will be a problem with this speed. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the liabilities of this build. On the defensive end, it's going to be very slow. Offensively, though, you're going to absolutely dominate because everyone else is so much smaller. On the 3's court, I would not use this build on the 3's court, especially with how the meta is going to be. Now, as far as some of you, I'm sure some of you are going to ask, should I just make like a 6'10" post score instead? I would not recommend that as well, because you can see, if you go down 6'10", look at your post moves. I mean, you take a big cut on your post moves. Now, if you're not really ever using stuff like post spins and you can afford to take a cut on post moves, go ahead, because that's all really post moves you really need it for, is your spins. That's going to control how fast your spins are. But for me personally, I'm going to go with 7'2". This will mostly be for the 1's court. That's where I use my post court the most. On the 2's court, I'll still use them, but there's other builds I have that I use on the 2's court as well. So that's the breakdown of how this build kind of ranks. So just keep that in your mind. You are going to be slow defensively on the 2's court. You will be able to dominate offense though. So if you guys can get the ball once, if you're a good post, there's no way a 6'8" player is going to get a stop on you. So 7'2", maximum weight. You got to maximize the weight for the strength. You can go down a little bit if you want to try to get a little extra speed and acceleration. You can drop to 287, but you also lose an interior defense. And the interior defense on the post score is a lot lower than it was last year. Fortunately, it's only like an 81 this year on this kind of a build. So that's something you kind of have to manage as well. So there you go, maximum weight. And then for the wingspan, I'm going max wingspan. I kind of juggled the idea of shrinking it down to like something like 94, which gives me a little bit extra post fit, a little bit extra shooting. But honestly, in my opinion, the maximum wingspan will work just fine. Now, your takeover options, you're going to have the options between post score takeover or rim protector takeover. Me personally, 100%, I'm going with post score takeover. Rim protector takeover is not a terrible option either, but I just like to really be able to dominate on the offensive end of the ball, especially considering I play a lot of the 1's court. So I'm going to go with the post score takeover, and this is going to give us the exact same name as we had last year, an interior force. Again, pretty similar to what we had last year. It's going to be effective though. You're going to be great at scoring in the post. The defense is a little lower than it was last year, but trust me, the defense on this build's, as long as you yourself are playing good defense, this defense is good enough on this build. So breaking down our badge loadout real quick. Again, you're only gonna have up to gold finishing badges. So on the bright side of that though, you can spread these out. You can get a lot of different badges. So I'd go with deep hooks, drop stepper, back down punisher, consistent finisher, pro touch, And then with these last 4, you can kind of play with it how you want. You can throw them on contact finisher. We don't get access to contact dunks with this build, so you can have that on if you want. You could try cross key score this year. I don't know, maybe it's good. You can try something like fancy footwork, slurry finisher if you want to, teardropper. Me personally, I think I'm probably gonna go with something like silver giant slayer on the ones court in case I'm going up against the 7-3 post maybe, or I might get relentless finisher. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what I'm going to use these last 4 on. I got to kind of play with the badges and see which ones work. I'm hoping cross key score is better this year, so I'll probably do something maybe like this for my finishing badges. Now the shooting badges, this is exciting. There's no quick draw. You don't have to waste points on that, so you can throw these Hall of Fame badges on deep fades, hot zone hunter, range extender, green machine, and then you can kind of play with it from here. You can get volume shooter, you can get hostile, you can get deadeye if you guys want to, and it really kind of just formulate to your own personal play style. I'll probably go with something similar to this, maybe silver deadeye, and throw this on like silver volume shooter, or maybe even tireless score. So if I get tired in the post, I can score. So that's kind of how I'm going to set this up myself. The playmaking badges, I already told you guys, we absolutely want gold postman technician and gold quick first step. Those are the only ones you really need to bother with, unless Dream Shake's actually good this year. But I doubt it. I mean, this badge has been terrible for like 5 years in a row. Up under badges are always pretty damn awful. The defense badges, again, you only have 8, which is kind of underwhelming, but you can make do with it. If you're playing ones, absolutely go with Intimidator, Pogo, Post Move Lockdown, either Post Move Lockdown or Clamps, whatever you have harder time, guards or guarding other post scores. If you're on the 2s, Intimidator, Brick Wall, and then put Silver Rebound Chaser is what I would personally recommend running. I don't know that you necessarily need Pogo Stick as much as I don't think there's going to be as many people just trying to attack the paint. So I think you could probably get away with something like this on the 2s court. It's kind of underwhelming defensively, but it's not too bad. Again, the real potential of this build is on the offensive side of the basketball. You can finish well. You can obviously post up extremely well. You can shoot the ball. So if you're playing 3s, you can run pick and pops. You can spot up for middies, spot up in the corner, things like that. And then it's got okay defense that's good enough to get the job done. So that's gonna be my post score build for NBA 2K21. There's a lot of great options for post scores. I'm probably gonna make another video just pretty much listing all the best post scores that you could possibly make, and then from there you guys can choose which one fits your play style the best, because this one was specifically catered to how I like to play in the post, which is a lot of post fadeaways. So for those of you that play similar to me, this might be the best. Those of you that just attack in the paint, there might be better options out there for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed though. This is going to be my post score build for NBA 2K21. Let me know if you guys are going to use it down below in the comment section. If not, let me know what you guys are using down below in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys are getting into, man. Thank you for watching. I will catch you guys later. Peace. Yo, I hope you guys enjoyed the best post score build on NBA 2K21. If you guys want to see another absolutely deadly build, click the video right over there. It's a 6'7" speed boosting sharpshooter. I promise you will not be disappointed.